The final chapter. Bound by love. The door opens to a dark room. The only light is coming from a small candle in the center of the room. The room is filled with books, and there's a table in the middle of the room. He looks around, his eyes wide. He's never seen so many books in one place. He's not sure what to do next. He looks at her, waiting for her to make the first move. She walks over to the table and looks at the books. She sees the book they're looking for. He walks over to her, his eyes glued to the book. He can't believe they found it. He reaches out to touch it, but he stops himself. She uses the key to unlock it. He watches her, his heart pounding. He can't believe they're finally going to get the book back. He waits for her to open it. You guys heard someone coming. He looks around, his eyes widening. He can hear footsteps coming towards them. He grabs her hand, pulling her behind a bookshelf. We better get out of here before they caught us. He nods. You're right. We have to be careful. He looks around for an exit, but he can't see one. He's starting to get worried. They were trying to figure out the other way to get out of the room. So they found another door, and they opened it, and they followed the path, and see where it takes them. He follows her, his heart pounding. He's not sure where they're going, but he's just glad to be out of that room. He looks around, trying to figure out where they are. They find a door that leads them out of the house, and into the woods. He looks around, relieved to be out of the house. He's not sure where they're going, but he's just glad to be away from the people who took the book. He looks at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. So they finally got out of the cave, and they were safe, so they want to go somewhere. It's safe that those guys won't find them. He nods. I know a place where we can go. It's a safe place where no one will find us. Let's go. She nods and follows him. He leads her through the woods, taking a path that only he knows. He's trying to stay calm, but he's still feeling a little uneasy. He's not sure what to expect when they get to the safe place. They finally got to the safe place. He stops in front of a small cabin in the woods. He looks at her, his eyes filled with relief. This is the safe place he was talking about. He opens the door, and leads her inside. She looks around, her eyes wide. This is a nice place. How did you find it? He smiles. I've been coming here for a while. It's a place where I can be alone and think. It's the only place where I can truly relax. Wait, what's this? She found a secret door in the house. He looks at the door, his eyes widening. He's never seen that before. He walks over to it, trying to figure out what it is. Wait, it takes us to another word. He looks at her, his heart pounding. He's not sure if he should open it or not. He doesn't know what's on the other side, but he's curious. They open the door, and walk through it. He follows her, his heart pounding. He's not sure what they're going to find, but he's ready for anything. He keeps a close eye on her, making sure she's okay. They look around and they see it's peaceful, and the place is very nice and beautiful. It was a waterfall and a beach, and a house by itself. It's a big house. He's amazed by the beauty of the place. He's never seen anything like it before. He looks at her, his eyes filled with awe. So they know they were safe and no one can find them, or know where they at. They just can't enjoy themselves and spend time with each others. He smiles at her, feeling a sense of relief. He's glad they're safe, and that they can finally relax. He reaches out and takes her hand, holding it tightly. So they sat down on the sand at the beach. They was just sitting there so happy that they made it, that they are safe. He looks out at the ocean, his eyes filled with peace. He's never felt so relaxed before. He leans his head against her shoulder, feeling content. What now? He looks at her, his eyes filled with love. He's not sure what the future holds for them, but he's just glad they're together. He smiles at her, his heart pounding. He didn't know what to say because he was so happy. He just couldn't stop looking at her, thinking to herself that she can't believe that they did it. They have the book and they look through it and tell them everything. Then when she looking the book, it tells us how to use powers, and then she used her power to test it. She told him into an eagle. Then a few minutes later she sees if she can tell him back. And she did. She was relieved that it works. He watches her, his eyes wide. He can't believe what he's seeing. He's never seen anything like this before. He looks at her, his heart pounding. He's not sure if he should be scared or amazed. So she keep using no powers and practicing, and she's doing really good. She can't believe it that she's actually doing it. She can't believe she told Nico into an eagle, and to him back into a snake. He's still watching her, his eyes wide with wonder. He's never seen her use her powers before, and he's amazed by what she's capable of. He's starting to feel a little nervous, but he's also excited to see what else she can do. Then she was done looking at the book. She shut the book. He wrapped his arms around her, and he hugged her tight, and he don't want to let her go. He holds her close, his heart pounding. He's never felt so safe and comfortable with someone before. He can't believe how much he loves her. He pulls her closer, wanting to be as close to her as possible.